the Dungeon Folks, the Young Folks' official Dungeons and Dragons campaign, where we stop talking movies and music, start playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's been a while since we had the full cast up and running. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. We had the escapades of Alexandros, Merritt, and Karnov, but now we can resume with the entire party here in the jungle, this great city-state full of fantasy folk and drama and intrigue and plot twists and cults. Apparently a lot of cults. And so we are picking that back up.
I'm just imagining Axl Rose singing, "We got lots of cults!"
Welcome to the jungle! We got lots of cults! We got all the cults!
All of them.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Did you guys remember when the character named Axl said, "Welcome to the jungle"?
Yes, how can I forget that?
What is this, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Only when Ziggy's around. Alright, so yeah, just to catch everybody up, last time we were following Alexandros on his quest to hunt down the angry revenant Felix Thorncutter, someone who came back from the dead, who claims that he was wrongfully accused of demon worship by the Life Church. And he has come back and he had a hit list of people who work for the Life Church or are connected in some way, and he's been systematically killing them. But Alexandros realized that he couldn't face him alone or without the proper tools, but in your delving in the sewer to solve all these other things involving Ziggy and the princess, Alexandros got the scroll of the spell Banishment. And so he set off to go finish what he started. But he realized he shouldn't go alone, and so he took with him his two favorite, his one favorite human and his favorite tiefling. I guess by default, his favorite tiefling. And they set off to Religion Row, and while they were there, they found the hanging body of a woman who was hanging from a noose, bearing a sign that said, "This is a church of lies, a church of lies and demons, death to Uranus." And then, sure enough, a demon attacked. A big blue winged vulture-like creature came and tried to remove the body from the scene, but then the revenant himself, Felix, attacked the demon, and they were fighting in midair before they crashed into the church that was being built, where Alexandros had fought him just the day before. And so the trio rushed in, and they found both creatures in a weakened state, and then they fought both of them off. Alexandros was able to successfully banish the revenant as well as slay the weakened demon. And then as the revenant was disappearing, his last words were, "You fools, I'm trying to cleanse the church. It's been corrupted by Demogorgon." And then he disappeared into the ether.
Hey, before we start, did anybody tweet this out?
Not yet.
That'd be good to get that SEO.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only person. Oh, no, there's two people in the chat. Is that you, Travis, or is there an actual human being?
It is not me this time.
Might be somebody hosting us.
So, currently,
Alexandros,
tweet
Flint,
it out,
and Karnov, you all staring still at this dead corpse of this big blue demonic vulture-like body, sort of catching your breath, clutching your wounds, and realizing, what the hell have we gotten ourselves into? But y'all left behind your favorite dwarf to sleep in.
Oh, nice.
Back at the Dragon's Dungeon Inn. And so, Flint, you wake up at a little prodding hand poking you.
What? Wait, why is there a hand? What is this little hand?
That's right. This is my fault.
You feel a little hand poking your face.
Am I cursed?
In a way.
No! What are you doing here?
Hey, buddy. It's your good friend, Alvin.
Yeah? Why are you poking my face, Alvin?
So you get up and you look around, you realize all the other beds are empty.
Ah, fuck.
And that everyone has left. And Alvin looks at you and he said, "Well, I was going to go talk to your friends, but they told me you are the guy to talk to. So I'm here."
About what?
I totally forgot we did this.
Yeah, if I can... Yeah, so a little context, last week, Alvin wanted to talk to the trio, and they rolled a really high persuasion roll to basically go wake up Flint instead, and then they booked it. So here we are, and he's waking up.
Okay, so they don't even know what he wants.
No, they don't. They took one look at him and they're like, "Oh no, not today."
Yeah. Okay. All right. So before we get into this conversation with Alvin, refresh my memory on where we left what we as a group wanted to do about that whole thing.
As far as I can tell, you wanted to still go through with it because, I mean, now that you've talked to the princess and you know more about the political landscape of the jungle, you concluded that stealing the plans for the guns is still good because it weakens the pack. And that's still like a political power play. It's still beneficial to everybody. So you wanted to go through with the heist.
We just don't want to actually have it get to the butchers.
Yeah. You're not sure if you want to give the plans to Alvin or have him sell his own guns. You haven't decided about that yet. But so far, you're still good to go with the heist. The heist is in about, I think, 2 days? It's 1 or 2 days. I'll check the notes. I think it's 2 days.
Gotcha.
And so, Alvin here, he's like, just wanted to catch up with you, see if you have updates. I have a few for you guys.
I think we're all pretty much good to go. We just don't know, who's going to be in charge of which part. This is literally me thinking this is not Flint acting super duper awkward.
I mean, you just woke up, so maybe.
Yeah. Maybe we should plot out how we're gonna actually break down who would be better doing what under the circumstance of the operation. But we're all able to get in now, so that's good.
That's great. So I have a little bit of information for you guys.
Oh,
good news and a little bit of unfortunate news.
Just call it bad. If it's bad, it's bad.
Well, I don't think it's bad per se, but it could cause problems, or rather, prevent you guys from fixing problems. Anyway, but the good. Let's start with the good. The good news is I was asking around, doing some snooping, and I figured out who the guy is who's supposed to receive the documents. So
the documents about the boom things.
Yes, the guns.
Yes, the boomsticks. Okay.
Yes. So they're supposed to be picked up by a man named Gustav of the Golden Company.
Gustav?
He'll be Gustav.
Oh, Gustav. I thought you were saying like he was like a cheese lord or something like that.
Well, I mean, if you consider gold a type of cheese, then definitely. Roll it in the cheddar. He probably likes his cheese too, because he is fat. He is fat as all hell, the easiest person to find. He is a rather rotund human, and like everyone in the gold company, he'll be just decked out in shining golden silk.
Oh my god,
and
Alex, I'm picturing the fat banker man from Mad Max. Is this about right?
Yeah, kind of. I was thinking more like the bad guy in Pocahontas, how I glitter, but I forget. What is the governor? What is the bad guy in Pocahontas? What is his name?
Hey Google, what's the name of the bad guy in Pocahontas?
I know it's Governor something.
It doesn't sound like he
Google,
knows.
stop. Shut up.
Maybe Siri knows. Hey Siri, who is the bad guy in Pocahontas? No. Who is the bad guy? Damn it, the laugh.
What a hijack.
Which appointment you'd like to check.
Who is the bad guy in Pocahontas?
Governor Ratcliffe.
I didn't find
Oh
any
my
appointments.
god, this guy.
Ratcliffe. Yeah, okay. Golden Ratcliffe. See how I glitter Ratcliffe? That's what he looks like.
Oh
Anyway,
my
moving
god.
on.
As
Alvin
oh my
pulls out his
Disney.
phone, and he uses divination magic to find out the details of a movie from 1990 in another world. Anyway, yeah. So he's a fat human covered in gold, and he'll be flanked by two other bodyguards in golden armor. So he'll be really easy to spot, is what Alvin tells you. Now, here's the bad news. The castle is kind of testy about weapons. So
Just any of them?
You can't carry a weapon in unless you're a registered bodyguard of one of the attendants. Now, you, as the fight guy, might be able to get away with one, but only one.
Like,
so you have
can
to
we
pick.
just dress up my great axe like it's some ceremonial thing? Put
for it.
Glue a couple of stones on it.
The worst thing they could do is disintegrate it, and then you. But, go for it. But
I could just use my fists.
You could, and you'll have to tell all your other friends that's what they gotta do. None of them are bodyguardy types.
And there's no way to magically conceal weapons in a way they wouldn't be able to tell?
You can try, by all means. There will be security, though, and they will be checking for it.
And what if we just happen to have certain powers or accessories with powers?
I mean, they're not going to ask you to make an example and cast every spell you can. They won't know.
The point is that if they don't see us go in with a weapon of some kind, they're not going to know.
They're not. So that's why I wanted to let you know. If you want to come up with your own solutions to that issue, by all means. I'm just letting you know what's up.
Woot!
In the meantime, I'm still working on the schematics for the Clockwork Castle. There's a room that's full of a lot of other rooms. It's been tough. The fungi hasn't been getting much info on it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Huh. So what aspect is he struggling with?
Well, as I told you, things in the Clockwork Castle move, and so it's hard to tell, hard to lay things out, and you don't know where they are.
Well, it's a clock, so some stuff's just gonna move circularly.
I mean, clockwork is more of just like whatever. I'm working on it. The fact is, I'm working on it, but it's tough.
Okay.
Is there anything else you need from me, friend?
Does anybody else have information they want to put into my brain?
Metagaming.
Team strategy time. Am I cheating here?
I mean, you can use your stone, like your little once a day text message to call somebody.
Yeah, don't out us. That's my advice to you.
Obviously.
We'll give something funny, like in.
Okay,
sure.
no, back up. It is not obvious to say don't out us to you. It is not obvious. Don't out us.
Well, what if you had somebody on the inside, since they have security guards and stuff?
Yeah, well, I think we were kind of talking about that. Yeah, I guess that's it, because I guess we're gonna end up bickering about it for an hour about who's gonna do what anyway.
I have a bad idea.
That's the next episode.
What's the bad idea, Merritt?
I mean, I can rest and I have Tasha's hideous laughter memorized. That could be useful.
Huh?
It's a spell that makes people laugh.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait. What would that have to do with anything here?
You can make somebody laugh and then run away.
I'm not running away from Alvin. That makes me look suspicious.
Alvin, not the plan. Oh, okay. Not the heist plan that we have meticulously ignored for the past month and a half.
Ignored? We were working on it up until the point that you guys lost the thing, the important plot thing.
Well, we have it back now. It doesn't matter. It all worked out. So what do you want? I wasn't paying. I was kind of off of my own little.
Forget about it.
How to get rid of Alvin?
I'm not talking about Alvin. I think we're pretty much square.
All right.
We'll keep an eye out for Gustav and work our way towards getting those documents of yours.
Well, perfect. You have about 2 more days to figure it all out. And then on the morning of the heist day, you'll have to come to me to get some of the fungi spores. And then you can break off again with your various peoples that gave you the invitations.
Yeah, those guys' spores made me super uncomfortable. And then
they make everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I was like sneezing for multiple days after that.
Did you cough up anything funny?
Yes.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think I might be allergic.
Nah, that's just how it is. It's
sure?
just naturally unpleasant. Yep. If anything, you should be inhaling more, build up a tolerance, you know?
Oh, okay.
I'll bring some next time so you can really train with it.
Oh, okay.
You can take it with your breakfast.
Okay.
I mean, if you're really raring to go, I can just go get them right now.
No. We'll wait. We'll wait on that one.
All right. Then you have a great day, dwarf.
You too.
And then he sort of gets off. He's been like standing on your bed this whole time, and he sort of hops down, and he walks out the door.
How the fuck are we gonna get away with this when he's insisting that the spores... I was hoping you'd let me roll a persuasion check for me having an allergy to the fungi.
Nah, he doesn't care.
Damn it. We really friggin' screwed ourselves with this. Okay.
You could have just killed him.
I mean... The murder hobo credo. We could have just killed him.
Somehow, Flint is evolving as a character beyond just Smishy Smash.
You still could have just killed him.
So if I have to, I will. But we want to be as inconspicuous about this as possible, because we don't want to fuck with the butchers too much now, do we?
Does Alvin matter about the... Oh, are you talking about killing Alvin or killing the fat guy?
Alvin.
Oh, he doesn't matter
if
about
Alvin gets in our heads with the fun guy, he's gonna find out what we're thinking of doing. Huh?
No, he's never getting in our heads.
Reading.
He can't read your mind. You can just... You choose to share information. But if any of you... he won't be able to look in your brain and be like, "Oh, you're planning to betray me." But if
our passive thoughts are not okay. So this isn't a Young Justice thing.
No, it's not like your minds are permanently melded. It's more like your mind are all linked to a group chat, and you can all at any point choose what to share.
Okay, but what is shared is deliberately shared.
Yes,
but we're not going to be able to communicate with each other telepathically without him hearing it. Is my point.
Correct. So so
we have to have our whole thing figured out.
Yeah,
before we go and doing that.
You as Flint can't send a mind message to Merritt about betraying Alvin without him also hearing that. Okay. But if you Flint are thinking about that and don't want to share that, then he won't know.
Good it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, because that's the only reason I was thinking I may have to kill him.
Good to know.
I was suggesting you kill him just because he's annoying, but that too.
Yeah, that'll work.
My vocal cords would thank you, but I do.
I feel like if we kill Alvin, then Yasmin would come and join the stream.
Finally, oh thank God.
We'll invite her into the chat for the brutal murder of Alvin.
I'm Alvin's brother, Simon.
Oh my God! And Theodore.
Okay.
Anyway, so Flint, is there anything you'd like to do now that you've woken up and you realize that you are all alone in this room?
What's everybody else doing?
Well, you know that you heard from Alvin that Alexandris Flint, no, you're Flint. Alexandrus, Merritt, and Karnov have gone off to Religion Row. That's about all that he got from them. But you realize he didn't mention Ori, and Ori and Turgot are both gone.
Huh. Perhaps I should
And you,
figure...
as you're wondering that,
does Flint
let's
do
figure
the
out.
investigative thing? Or does he do the investigative thing to try to figure out where they are, or just assume that he's just going to go to Religion Row? Crossroads. While Flint decides that Crossroads, go to Ori there.
So as you're thinking that, you realize, where is Ori? And let's find that out. Ori, you wake up, and you're sitting in a rather ornate, armchair. And sitting across from you is Turgot, and he's sitting in an armchair that's rather similar to yours, and he's holding a saucer and a cup of tea, and he's just wide-eyed and petrified, looking at you. His eyes are darting between you and someone else, you and someone else, you and someone else, and he looks too nervous to take a sip. And as soon as he sees that you're awake, his eyes widen, and he's just what's going on? And you, Ori, you turn your head, and to the right, you realize that you're in you're in a simple room. It looks kind of like a cottage. There's a table, and there's a pantry with various cloves of garlic and carrots and various little herbs and spices. And there's a cabinet with There's a glass cabinet with a bunch of shelves, a bunch of little bottles and vials of various things you can't really identify. And then you look, and there's a window, and then out the window is this endless spiraling hallway filled with doors on the floor, the walls and the ceiling, and it's just spiraling out infinitely. And sitting in front of that window, in a much bigger armchair, sipping her tea, is the woman that you ran a delivery to a few days ago. The woman who gave you the ashes of her brother in exchange for money from Charkath. The woman with the motley patchwork of fabric dress. The woman whose one eye shifts from the corner of her eye directly into the center and focuses on you. It's Lady Zytalia, and she drinks. She's like, "Oh, good. You've
Gross.
enough, dear. I'm sorry if this seems rather intrusive, but well, I felt like we needed to talk. Go on. Have some tea."
How did we even reach here? Target that question towards Target.
And Target's just like, I woke up here and she offered me tea and you were still asleep. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't want to be rude, so I drank the tea, and I've just been sitting here for an hour.
I mean, I look at him and say, "You actually drank the tea?"
I mean, it's pretty good.
Then I look across the ad, say, "What's her name again?"
Lady Zytalia.
Lady Zytalia, and ask her what exactly she wanted to talk about.
She says, "Well, Ori and Turgot, I was wondering when it would happen, but you've finally involved yourselves, you and your band." She sips her tea. "I'm afraid you're deep in the machinations now, so deep that you cannot pull yourself away even if you wished it. You're tangled now in the threads of fate that tie you to Mogla and Nakresh, and the fates of the city itself, which I have a bit of a vested interest in.
Okay.
I don't want Nakresh on the throne again. Nobody in my organization does, and we've looked at the many possibilities, and in most of them, the greatest way of thwarting him comes from you lot. So we want to help.
Well, I think I should rather get back with my friends, and instead of
And she sips
whatever
her
is
tea.
happening here.
In due time. I will take you right back. No worries. But until then, I
kind of give a side look at Turgut, like an evil eye kind of look at Turgut.
He just shrugs. And he drinks more of his tea.
So how do you want me and my friends to help?
So, I have some things to tell you. There are 9 things. 9. It's a rather fitting number for such a foe. There are 9 things you can find that will help you defeat Nakresh. You do not need all of them. You don't even need a single one if you are feeling the great pull of hubris. But 9 things all the same.
Who's with hubris now?
What?
Who's hubris?
Well,
who's hubris?
You would have hubris if you go in to face Nakresh without any of these. So, take heed. There are 3 of 3s. There are the swords of 3 dead kings. There are the curses of 3 forgotten gods and contracts of 3 mighty devils.
Uh-huh.
These 9 things will give you an upper hand. And of course, you must play in Magla's game of politics and intrigue.
Why do you want us to do this instead of you doing it?
I'm afraid it's not so simple with my organization. I am working with this, but I am only one person, and I am trying to solve this problem an infinite amount of times. I can go many places. There are infinite places I can go, but I can only be at one in any one spot. So I may be able to defeat Nakresh once, but we must defeat him infinitely. I understand for someone who's outside of my organization, that's rather confusing. We get that a lot. But just trust me. We have the balance in mind.
Wait, what organization are you with again? I just need like a refresher.
Don't worry. We must remain in the secret cracks between all realms until it is time. We have many enemies, many who would seek to depose us for their own benefits, and so we must remain in the shadows. Nay, not even in the shadows, but in the reflections of shadows. The shadows are run by many of our greatest enemies.
Uh-huh. So, if I have it straight, you want me to help this organization that doesn't even want to share its name to be of a shadow, be related to a shadow.
This is like a steamed hams moment.
She just sips tea. It's about right.
Have my own cup of tea too?
Yeah, it's sitting there right in front of you.
He just takes it and gulps it all the way down, and then puts it on the table to do this.
It's scalded your tongue a little bit. It was still pretty warm, but and you didn't really get a nice taste for the intricacies of the flavor as you chugged it, but you got some hints of white peach and Earl Grey as you swigged it, and that you feel that like warmth travel down your throat and into your belly as that hot liquid sort of just rushes down. You sweat a little bit just from the instant of that, but otherwise nothing else happens. It was just some good tea.
Was to show a strong front.
Yeah, and she sips her tea, raises her eyebrows a little bit.
So where do I start?
So, I'm afraid I only know where so many of these things can be found. One of them, one of these swords, is in the Mine of Three Hammers. An old dwarven mine in the wilds of the city, but they have abandoned it as a new beast has taken residence there and made it quite difficult to mine silver. And the city has outlawed silver some time ago, which is a further complication, and a further reason why no one's been there. Now then, one of these other swords is one that I'm sure has been mentioned by Magla, the fabled one that felled Nakresh long ago. I don't know where it is, but it's certainly out there. And the last sword, I'm afraid, is an elven secret. The elves of the city are very reclusive, and even someone as traveled and renowned as I have yet to seek an audience there. As for the contracts, well, to court the ear of a devil, you can either do something drastic or find a way to enter hell yourself. But I can't say I recommend that one. And then finally, for the forgotten gods, well, they're forgotten. I don't know where they are either. Though there are rumors that there was an old altar in Fort South, the city. Other than that, I'm afraid you don't know. Or I don't know. And you will have to go find them on your own. Once again, you don't need all of them, but all of them are surely to be of great help for you. Any other questions?
How long is all this gonna take? Because I've got like a thing.
And she smiles really kind of creepily and wide, and she just says, "My dear, that depends entirely on your efficiency."
So I look at Turgid and say, "What?
What do you say? Sorry.
What does he think about it all?"
He is wide-eyed and like even more confused than you are. He hasn't really experienced high-level magic, and so he's just beyond confused. Everything's sort of glossing over him. I mean, he sort of seemed to have recognized like the sword of the princess, and he recognized a little bit about like forgotten gods, but like everything else, he's just like drawn a blank, and he's just, he's like, how long do you want us to stay here, miss? And she says, I can send you back whenever you wish now. That was about the gist of my information to give you.
What is this place? This cottage?
Why, this is my house.
Spiraling hallway? There is like not even any towns or anything around?
My house is on the outskirts of a city, the city between all cities, the city of doors.
There is.
In due time, maybe after you handle.
Since judging on the religious side of things, so I might go for that one. It's a sword, right?
Wait, what are you trying to figure out?
For that one, the Forgotten Gods quest.
Okay.
Thing.
Yeah, you can roll a religion or history, either one.
Wait, let me pull out the dice.
Dice tabs. Dice rollers.
Roll a what?
History or religion, whichever you're better with.
Oh, they're the same.
All right, so whichever you feel like. Whichever you feel like. I'd say probably.
This is the gods thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, okay. I'll go with the history. And is a D20, right?
Yep, D20 plus that number.
Mm-hmm. 20.
20. Okay, so actually, you don't know who they are because they are the Forgotten Gods, but being a religious person or having been brought up in a monastery and having done some research about the jungle before you came here, you do remember that like way back when in the history of the jungle and of the city of Alamon, before like it's been conquered and taken over multiple times in multiple dynasties. There's the Yarud family currently. There was Nakresh. There was the Yuan-Ti. There was the elves before them. And you remember that even before the elves, there were just a bunch of tribes that sort of were at war here, and that all of the tribes had their own god, and they were usually like animal gods, like think like Egyptian, like with the head of an animal. Like there's a cat, a bird, a bear, wolf, etc. And so you don't know which ones were really the big ones or what their names were at all, but you do know that there are like these forgotten gods sort of in the history of the city, and that you remember a lot of the city is really old, and so there might be some altars or relics or ruins somewhere that might have something related to this. And she mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're gonna say?
What else you mentioned?
She told you that the Forgotten God might be found in the Fort South. And Fort South, there's 4 big forts that sort of flank each corner of the city and usually like watch the port or the wall to the wilds. And Fort South, is sort of like about a mile or 2 from the Dragon's Dungeon Inn. It's actually really close to you, but it's been long abandoned and really run down. But you do know that that's there, and she said maybe there's something there. And then as far as the swords, you don't really know too much from religion, but other than that, the sword that the princess had or the princess's grandfather had, was the legendary one that killed Nakresh. And then the other 2, you have no idea. And then as far as contracts with the devil, you don't know how to summon devils, but you do know that devils love to make contracts. Like their whole deal is being lawful creatures of order and agreements and like subjugation. Like they don't want to just destroy, pillage, enslave just by like brute force. That's sort of what demons do. Devils sort of like to coerce and get things in writing. Like they're sort of like the Empire from Star Wars. They're very orderly. And so you do know that yes, it's quite possible to make deals with devils. Sometimes you get really powerful benefits from it, but usually there's a cost, and usually it's dangerous, and you're threading a needle between like power and damnation when you deal with devils. And that's about all you get from a 20.
Well, that was still a lot.
Yeah, 20 is really good.
Okay, let's start with the relics that are left around town. Mention?
The Forgotten Gods, you meant?
Yeah, the Forgotten Gods is the place, or is it the sword?
There's the 3 swords of dead kings. There's the 3 curses of Forgotten Gods, and then the 3 contracts of devils. And so you might be able to find something about a Forgotten God, whether or not it has a curse or what's up with that. There might be something about a Forgotten God in one of the forts of the city.
Okay. I think I'll go start.
She told you that like the only one she know, the only thing she knows like for sure, there is one sword, one of these swords of dead kings in the mine, the 3-hammer mine. That's like the only thing she has like a direct like you can go there for that.
I don't even completely trust her.
Why not?
So go down in the mines. It's the eye.
It's the eye. And that eye, by the way, has not blinked the entire time she's been looking at you.
You see? And on top of the fact that she kidnapped both me That's not a
Fair.
trustworthy thing.
So, what else would you like to do?
First of all, I'd like to leave this cottage place and then head for the mines, I guess, instead of
Okay.
going for the relics.
Okay, so you sort of express interest to leave, and she says, "Yes, follow me." And she gets up, and she walks over to a door, and she opens it, and you see now that like endless spiraling hallway full of doors, sort of going off to the distance and like spinning. And it's sort of like MC Escher-esque, because like as she walks out and motions you to follow her, she's sort of like walking like along the floor, but then you realize like she's on. If you stop and you don't follow her for a few feet, it looks like she's walking on the wall and like up diagonally. But as soon as you follow her, she looks like she's just right in front of you. It's very disorienting being here. And just all around you, there's doors like swimming and floating around. And you thought there was just like, you know, like door, like endlessly spinning. No, there's doors over here, doors over there. And as you're walking, it's more of like a swarm, as if you were like caught in like a hive of bees, but they're all doors and they're all sort of flowing in and out and around each other. But as you follow her, you don't see any floor or water or anything, but as you walk behind her, sure enough, it feels like there's solid ground beneath you and you're walking a path. And so she's sort of like tapping her lip, like counting them, and she's like, "I believe I took you from this one." And
Where do all the doors lead, though?
The same place in different places. Rather, the same place, but different reflections of the same place. I believe this is the right one. And she pulls up, there's a wooden door, and she pulls up a finger, and it stops in front of her. And you see that it looks just like a big, heavy oak door with like two handles on it. You notice that the handles themselves have like these two wrought iron rings, and together they form either an infinity symbol or an 8. You're not sure which, because it's kind of at an angle. And if you notice, like at the top of the door, it looks like there's a bunch of like Roman numerals, but like a whole bunch of them, and they spiral in a big circle. It's like an infinitely huge number written on top of this door. And so she opens them, and you step out, and you find yourself in a church that's under construction that has been beaten to crap. There's like a pews that have been snapped, altars that have been tipped over, and you see that there is a hole in the ceiling and sun shining down, and you see on the ground Alexandrus dead, his head torn clean off his body, and blood streaked across. And you see Karnov without his horns and like pinned, nailed to a post, blood streaking off his albino skin. And you see Merritt. Well, you see 2 legs and leather armor standing with bloody chomps where the the thighs meet the groin area. Everything else is missing. And Zytalia goes, "Oh, this is the wrong one. This isn't right. Follow me. Never mind. And so,
What's that? Before she like closes the door.
I'm very sorry. This is the wrong one.
No, what
Trust me.
what was that door?
This was what might have happened. Or what did happen, but here. Not where we're going. Not where you should be." And so she escorts you out of that room and closes that door, pulls up another door, and opens it. And so, Alexandrus, Merritt, and Karnov. Merritt and Karnov, are you there? Travis, Ryan?
Guten Tag, hallo, wie geht's?
I am here. I was doing an article.
Very good. So the 3 of you are standing there catching your breath, staring over this big blue corpse as you hear this crackling and like this like pop sound, as you notice that like the door to like that's sort of like the office, like a cleric's office by the altar, suddenly opens, And rather than like a dusty room, you see Ori and Turgid walking out of a brightly illuminated column, as well as Alexandris. You recognize this woman with the patchwork dress and the crazy eye who gave you the advice about Felix. And they all walk out of this spectral door that seemed to have appeared almost at random. And Zetalia looks down at the ground and says, "Yes, this was the right one."
Hi again.
Hi.
Oh,
This is weird.
Hey, Ori, it looks like
Said
you've seen
just a while ago.
Hello to you too, Ori. Looks like you've seen a ghost.
Did I look okay, dead?
I'd rather forget about it. Let's just move on with.
You up?
Well, I mean, how dead are we talking? Like mauled by a giant tiger god?
Dead?
Or Disney?
Could revive you, kind of dead.
I mean,
But let me
I
not
feel like
focus
you just can't say that you just saw all of our dead corpses and then just expect us to ignore that.
Are you a little stressed, Ori? Do you need to talk to somebody?
These are things that need to be forgotten.
Anyway, Ori,
Uh-huh.
you did miss death in a way, and I like gesture towards the giant dead thing that is like still there.
Yes, the big blue demon that you
I
killed
gesture wildly in its direction.
about like 5 minutes ago, and then
So we're just ignoring the "I just saw you die" thing. Is that what we're collectively doing?
Is Lady Zetalia still there? Or is it-
yes, she's actually walking up to Alexandros, Merritt, and Karnov, and she says, "It's good to see you again, Alexandros, and you, Karnov, and you, Rychard Bramble."
Oh,
What?
damn it!
What did she just call him?
Hello. That's the real name of my character.
As
Richard.
You got
Bramble?
outed, boy.
Rychard.
Richard Bramble.
as
all
her
three-
eye is
all
focused
three-
on you.
All three of our viewers should go look at the Wikipedia page on the band Fairport convention for the genesis of how that name came about.
Joke's
Oh.
on you, this whole thing is part 9 of JoJo.
Oh, and, all right. I'm like, oh,
Streets.
great. So, you know the whole thing, right?
You're telling her that?
Yeah.
Yes,
I sign him like, you know the whole thing, right?
Oh, yes. I know many things.
The whole thing with a thing.
And the thing with the other thing, as well as the thing that only happens when that thing sometimes happens with.
Yeah, that one.
Of course, you speak her language.
Well,
So,
you,
and she
you
walks
take
up
care. You all heard nothing except for you.
She
No,
walks up
you
to
all-
Alexandris and she says, "Now I told you not to get used to this, but this one time, you do seem in dire straits. This can't keep happening. But until then," and she sort of like, she moves her hands and you see these like arcane symbols sort of appear around it, and she sort of like twists it as if she was like spinning like a lock combination, and she's like shifting it around, and then Merritt, Karnov, and Alexandris, you see sort of like this like light begin to form around your body, and then it pulls away from you, and you see a copy of yourself like standing right next to yourself, mirroring your movements, and then like parts of the light sort of like shoot out or shoot off from that copy and back into you, and you're sort of like displacing, and suddenly you're on that side and that's the copy, and then suddenly you're on that side and that's the copy, and then you shift like back and forth about 2 or 3 times until you end up at the position where the copy was, and then the copy disappears, and you find yourself at full health with all of your spell slots restored.
Wow,
That's some neat, weird magic stuff.
I
Can
think
you
I
teach me
just-
how to do that?
I think I just tasted Wednesday.
Yeah, and
Adam.
Merritt, you realize that like a lock of your hair that's sort of right here has now gone shock white. Just like a single little streak.
Oh no, the dye wore off. I mean, oh no, this is awful.
And so, she sort of begins to walk away again. She said, "I've told your friend here all the things that you all need to know. I'm afraid I have appointments." Oh, and she looks down at the floor. "Do you mind if I take this?"
This,
ahead.
yeah, take it.
She points a finger, and there's like this little green ball that sort of forms around it, and then it shoots this stream of green energy, and it hits the blue creature, and as she drags it across the creature's like spine, the creature just crumbles into dust. And then she walks up with a big bag and just scoops up the dust and fills that bag with it.
Sure, that makes sense.
Tightens it, and she says, "For a friend," and puts it on her belt. And she bows, and she walks back to the door that she pulled Ori and Turgid out of. And then she opens it, and she walks in, and for a split second, Ori, Alexandros, you recognize that spiraling hallway of doors, which Merritt and Karnov you see for the first time, and it's rather astounding. But you only see it for a split second, and then the door closes, and then that door disappears. And you just see the empty doorway to what would have been a cleric's study in this under construction church. And she's gone.
I've seen some weird magic, but I've got to admit that was some weird magic.
I like her a lot. Like, she's growing on me. I just really like her.
She knows an intermediate amount of things. Mostly about me, but let's not get to that.
Rychard.
Is it even worth being subtle about that anymore?
It's like revealing Mac's name as Ronald McDonald.
I'm not mad. I'm just, nonplussed. That's a very different feeling.
I just walk to Merrick and I just still look at him like Hawkeye, just being like, "Rychard."
Well, Rychard, same deal, but yeah, that's what they called me.
So,
45 years ago.
Flint, what have you been doing this whole time?
Changing his name to Richie.
Richie?
There's a Y in there. There's a Y with an umlaut over it in there. What?
Yeah, correct his spelling.
Alright, what has Flint been doing? Well, I guess everybody's paths have been converged, so I tried to make my way vaguely towards the group. I don't know where on the map that would be, or if I'm just there.
You were told Religion Row, and I'll say that, given that they took some time, but not a whole lot of time to fight the thing, you arrive probably about an hour later. Right. And so you as you walk through the streets of Religion Row, you realize that it's really crowded. There's been like a bunch of crowds and people sort of like looking really scared and talking about stuff. And you see that like there's the huge church that's sort of like 3 churches down from the Hall of War, which you never really like thought about, but you know as the Church of Life, like the big life domain church. And hanging from it still is this body of a woman hanging by a rope. And there's still a bunch of people sort of pointing up and like wondering what about it, and they're pointing off into the distance. And then you see also that there are, for the first time that you've seen, like city guards. There are people with sort of chainmail armor, emblems of the royal crest of bears with crowns. They have sort of simple shields and spears. And they're sort of like trying to contain the peace, but people keep talking and pointing and like this far off direction. And you hear some murmurs about the flying thing. And, like, they heard it crash. Construction site. A tiefling ran after it. These are all sort of just like murmurs from the crowd.
Tiefling? Where's the... I just ask a random pedestrian, like, where was the crash?
Well, I think it was by the construction site, sir.
And I just run to the construction site. Thank you.
So it takes some time to run over there, and you have to sort of like hunch under the fence that was sort of gating off the construction area, and you see that even though, this place is under construction, there is a massive hole in like the ceiling or in the roof of this thing, which shouldn't be there. That's not a construction thing. That's a crash thing. So you know this is the place. And so sure enough, you crawl from under there, you rush over, and you burst open the double doors. And at this point, Merritt, Karnov, Alexanderson, Ori, you see Flint sort of breathlessly rush in the church as well.
Flint, my boy, here, watch this, and I shoot the wand at him. What do I need? What do I need? Whoa.
Immediately.
Hold on,
Okay.
Can I roll? Can I do a like a I don't know what.
What do you to resist the wand
or just to dodge?
No, you can't resist. You can't dodge it.
I can't dodge a wand
attack.
It's not a
projectile. You can roll me a charisma saving throw. That's what you can do.
Charisma saving throw, and I have none. Well, I have 0 modifier points for charisma. Oh, nat 20.
Aww.
So he says, "Hey, Flint, check it out!" And he points this wand, and you feel a little tingle in your cheeks, and then nothing happens.
Does this only work on me?
Calm down, Richard.
Richard?
Oh, if you only knew the story behind that name, you wouldn't call me that again.
Did you just call me Richard?
It's long story.
Do you sell cheeseburgers now, human? It sounds like the name of a burger flipper to me.
What's a cheeseburger?
Really?
What is a cheeseburger?
Turget kind of leans into Ori. Are cheeseburgers like a dwarf thing? Or...
Let them have their fun.
Quality protein is a dwarf thing. What happened here? Why is there somebody being hung outside? Why is this thing crashed? And why do you have a wand?
You missed a death. You know, the thing you like to do.
Yeah.
How unfortunate. What's going on?
This is how you ask him.
Yeah. So first things first, the zombie, he's dead in that little pile right over there on the ground.
You mean double dead?
Yeah. There's two pile of ashes, a small gray one and a rather large blue.
Yeah.
Real dead.
So
real dead.
Double dead.
So double dead. So dead. Gone dead.
Like extra crispy. Okay.
Yes.
They're pining for the fjords.
Yeah. He was dragged. We were dragged here because of the blue pile over there. That was a big monster that we killed.
Oh.
And the woman hanging outside in the middle prayer is killed because of the gray pile over there.
A lot of colors going on today.
Yeah.
It's been a day.
It's been a lot of conspiracies.
Wait, how in this situation? It seems like trouble just always follow you guys.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
In this situation where you have color-coded deaths, like trouble always follows you guys.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So I woke up to our tiny, annoying-sounding friend poking at me. But he's.
Oh yeah, I forgot we did that.
Yeah, but so he suspects nothing, but we should probably prepare because I couldn't convince him to, let go of the fungus dog. The
prepare as in probably kill him?
Possibly if needed, but we don't know
we
don't know what the butchers are expecting from him, if anything.
We have no right to believe that he has anything to do with the butchers.
No, I like this cautious Flint. This is smart.
I'm trying to learn. You're making it hard, Richard.
You don't know the context.
You're right. It's still funny.
It's really funny the longer you think about what he just
I
said.
don't care. I took the name Merrick Galladay from a bottle of wine. You think I have a bunch of fake names I can make up right now?
Yeah.
Like
Seriously.
what?
Yeah, I can come
That's
up with a
one.
fake name too. Like
That's another.
Like what?
Yes.
First
that's-
name like, last name what? The renowned what family?
I'll do you one better. Why?
I just like
Touche.
I just tap like Turget on the shoulder and I whisper, "I dare you to say, calm down, Richard."
Calm down, Richard.
I don't give a crap.
I think he was
You
hoping
think
on
I
this coming
care
up
what you guys
sooner.
call me? I've been called thousands of names over the year. Okay, maybe 10, but that's beside the point.
And he's been counting. All right, we're just like laughing over these dead bodies at his name.
Yeah, I like how
doesn't
there's like
matter to me.
two big piles of ashes. You've been visited by like an interdimensional being,
You're arguing.
and you're all mocking the guy for his name, Richard. This is Dungeons
This
and
is
Dragons,
Fast and
everybody.
Furious cartoon,
This
yeah.
is Dungeons and Dragons. You kill a demon, you find someone from another dimension, it doesn't matter. You rip someone for being named Richard.
I'm proud of us for not going for Dick yet.
I was just gonna say, actually.
It's a common name where I come from.
Dick or Richard?
I was gonna say, there's a lot of dicks where you come from.
Maybe. Depends.
Richard. All right, what do we do now?
Okay.
Good question. We should probably stop making fun of him, though. For now.
Yes.
For
Give
now.
her-
It doesn't
give
matter
Richard
to
a
me.
break.
Don't forget it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You are
So,
definitely
the
not
lady who
mad.
just came from the other alternate realities gave me some information.
So how did we
My
die?
purpose defeat. Let's forget that part. She gave me some information on how we can defeat Nacrash. But we
Okay.
just have to go on another quest.
Oh, spill the beans.
Oh.
Hmm.
Can the other quest wait until we do the thing with the thing where we kill the things and the thing and the heist and the thing?
That's
Well,
very vague, Richard. I thought we talked about this.
I don't know. Wherever you come from is the same land she came from.
No, she just sees everything and knows the story, probably.
Richard's just
Okay.
having an existential crisis.
Those were fun. They're very enlightening.
So how long until the big thing that we actually need to
2 days.
break into? 2
You
days.
so you have today and tomorrow, and then it's the heist.
So Ori, like from what Zytalia told you, like what's do we have to do?
Also,
I think it's
are we
gonna
okay
take
to
much
trust this
longer.
weird woman who knows Richard's name?
If she what has happened to me,
she's not,
I have every
she's not
reason to.
present still,
I
is
have-
she?
If she's
No.
seen what happened
Flint,
to
you
me,
have no idea what they're talking about and coming out of nowhere. You're the only one who have not experienced this at all.
all right. If she's seen what's happened to me over the course of my life, I have every reason to trust what she says.
There's no doubt that
Good enough for me.
you can't trust her. It's just, I think that this quest that she wants us to go on is going to take longer than the heist, especially because, we can never really sort out a plan.
You could say it could be a whole.
So what you're
story
saying-
arc.
So what you're saying is, forget it and stick to the heist.
No!
Is that what I'm getting here?
We don't have to forget. We heist first. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Well, I'm good with what you guys want to do. If you want to go for the heist, I just think the heist is a little.
I say we kill. I say we kill Alvin, forget the heist, and then just do the quest with the
We might not-
princess.
should we just go back to the Dragon's Dungeon and hash this out?
I'm having a hard time hearing Ori.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's just breaking
Mhm.
up.
Yeah,
Oh,
the,
you seem like.
Yeah, what you're saying.
Maybe we should finish this heist since it's more important.
Important.
Quest.
It's at least more pressing.
Yeah, because
immediately.
it's 2 days. On this quest,
Yeah.
it might take much longer.
Italia didn't tell you like you need to get these now or as soon as possible. She just said she didn't even say you need to get all of them. She just said like there are 9 things out there that can help you. Find them if you want help.
Okay.
Like it's totally on your own time, just so that you're aware that they're out.
Then let's bench that idea.
Yeah. If anything, maybe.
But they are important. The quest is important because two weapons that can help us defeat Nacresh.
You know what we could do? Because we have 2 days. We could fulfill the promise that we did to Ori and free the people who are like by the cults.
Completely forgot about the cult people.
Yeah.
Cult people.
Like I think we might have enough time to like look into that. Like.
Yeah.
But we need to have
I mean,
plan
we
for the heist.
We could avoid getting into trouble.
Like that's possible around here. Even Turget wouldn't be able to stay out of trouble for 2 days.
No, I'm actually pretty good at that.
I mean, are you?
Snippy with me.
I mean, until I met you guys. No offense.
Wow.
Well, I mean, then again, you guys found me when I was about to get a knife in the chest, so maybe I shouldn't.
You're
say
welcome.
anything. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So maybe, like Ori, you think we should come up with a plan for the heist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
So
I
idea.
mean, the cult
Yeah.
people will still be there.
They'll still be there.
Yeah.
It's
So, yeah. So maybe let's come up with a plan for the heist then, and let's probably get out of Religion Row before whatever.
This place is about to EXPLOD easy.
I saw you. You wouldn't want to still be here.
Yeah. So maybe let's go back to the inn and just like chat in like privacy.
Yeah, that'll keep us out of trouble.
All right.
You good with that, Richie?
Just like slowly extend my hand with a thumbs up and a scowl.
We're good.
So, as you all leave the church, I'd actually like everybody to roll me a stealth check. Flint, you have disadvantage on stealth because you have big chainmail armor.
Alright.
So you have to roll twice and use the lower number.
Oh.
Because as you guys all walk out of the church, you realize that those Crown's guards are showing up. They're starting to walk over now.
I,
Yeah, it's
Gonna be a
I rolled an 8.
17.
Yeah, I rolled an 8 too.
10 plus my 7, so 17.
Okay, and then
12.
Karnov. Okay. So, Karnov, Alexandris, and Merritt, the three of you, go first, basically, and get out underneath the fence hole, and then book it to an alleyway. Flint, you go for it, but you get kind of stuck. The chain sort of snags on your chainmail.
Of course it does.
And it delays you long enough, and Ori was right behind you in line, to the point where you're both kind of just standing there now outside the gate, and you hear a commanding voice saying, "Halt! Hey, you, stop there!" As 3 armed humans with spears sort of walk up,
Ah, shit.
sort of jog up to you. It's like, "What business do you have here?
Well, none, because
This
I'm
is a
stuck.
crime scene, sir."
Yeah, it's criminal that I can't leave.
No, you're unstuck now. You were just stuck
I'm
first.
unstuck. I'm
No,
I'm
I mean,
unstuck
actually,
now.
no. Sure, let's retcon it. Let's say that you're having this conversation in the ground, looking up, and he's
That's the
pointing his
fastest
spear
retcon
down
I've
at
ever
you.
Is that any way that you speak to a victim? I was inside of this thing.
As so was a murderer and a fearsome creature that is wreaking havoc upon this city.
Yeah, and I'm lucky I didn't die.
I nudge over to Karnov as we watch this from distance. I'm like, hey, why don't you do your thing where you yell at them in demonic language to make them go? It will be funny. Just this once.
This is a tempting prospect. I mean, would they not attack instead?
Depends on how religious they are.
These aren't Kingsmen, right?
No, they are.
They might not be that religious.
They're the city
How
guard.
about you? Do we know anything specific about the princess that only people who knew the princess would know, that you can yell in demonic yell tongue?
Considering
Honestly,
you
if
met
I
her
do over the-
yesterday, no.
I'm
Like,
imagining.
is there like a specific like symbol that's attractive? Like, what's the name of that sword we got for her?
Oh, just do the Spaceballs thing.
Just
You got her-
lies.
You got her the white spider staff, not a sword.
But that's not a
No.
to her.
Just like Flint and Ori, lie and say that you were seeking shelter because like all that action was happening, and
I'm
it just
just
so
pretending.
happened to
I'm
head
just
your way.
pretending I was kidnapped by the zombie.
Okay. So at that
Can I
point,
just say that we were inside there, Target and I were inside there just praying ourselves, since it's a church, right? That
Yeah.
was destroyed?
it's under construction. It's not like open to the public.
Yeah.
You're in like a
Zombies.
foreclosed area.
Yeah, we are victims of this conflict.
Well, it was my
What were
favorite
you
church.
doing here?
Yeah,
It hasn't been open to the public yet.
yeah.
I still admire
Literally.
good structure.
I'm continuing to nudge at Karnov and yell at them.
So at this point, I'd like Ori and Flit to both roll me deception checks.
Let's see what's on that.
Wait, do I have anything for that?
Oh no, I have no deception.
I have a 0 for deception. 15?
Yeah. Six.
Ooh.
He rolled a 5.
Wow.
That's bullshit. I'm just saying, if you did not have this thing under construction for so long, then we wouldn't even be in this mess.
It's like, it's like, and like the guy behind him is just like, nobody would go in there to fight that thing. Come on. He's like, well, what happened? What did you see? Is the creature still in there?
All I saw was piles of dust and just a mushy, rotting body that's blue.
That's not a lie.
That is not a lie. It's like, well, someone get the lock for this.
By the time I got out of that closet, man, let me tell you, it just reeks in there. We're lucky that we got out of there at all.
Well then, get out of there. What are your names?
Richard.
Well, Richard, what is your clan name?
I am.
You don't know your own
Whatever.
name, Richard?
I am in attendance at the Hall of War. That's how I got to Religion Row.
It's not your clan name, but
Nope,
okay.
don't have one yet. I'm new here.
Well, Richard of the Hall of War, we'll be sure to follow up if we find a flaw in your story. And what about you, Dragonborn? What is your
My
name?
name is Shisha, and this is my friend Clive, and we're just wanderers. We're just wanderers. We travel around looking at unique architecture. That's why we were here.
I'd like everyone to roll me deception checks again.
Everybody?
Well, no. Ori and Flint.
12.
$14. What about persuasion?
No, you're good. He rolled an 11.
No way. That's awesome.
He's like, well, Rychard, be on your way.
Thank you, kind gentlemen. We thank you for your service.
Someone get that key for this lock.
Thank you
And so
for
they're
your
sort of,
service.
and they sort of stand outside. One guy sort of like sprinting off. Unbelievable. I mean, need new dice.
That's my reaction too. Just unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All right, so you guys are fine. You don't get arrested.
I like just you thinking.
Yeah.
At that point.
For once, we don't have
How does
trouble.
that work?
With 0 deception.
0. I hope I eventually get some deception points.
To be fair, they had 0 insight, so it was just up to dice at that point. So, anyway,
There's like
So you
a
meet up
couple of
with the
bad
rest?
liars, a couple of people that are kids. They can't even read a room.
so you guys all get on the train, and you head back to the Dragon's Dungeon, right? You guys are going back to the inn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make a real plan.
Okay.
Hopefully, and I'll just end up arguing again.
Okay, so you guys get back to your room, unless you'd like to hang out in the tavern area at all, or talk to anybody else, or you guys just heading back and then like button heads now.
I taken Target with me down to the tavern for a drink because after this day,
Why don't
it's
we
been
just
tough.
as a group just... oh, wait. Would it be not a good idea to talk about that openly in the tavern? I don't think anybody gives a shit. do they?
I'd probably get extraordinarily drunk and just yell.
Yeah. Can't trust him with alcohol.
Alright, so if you guys are having
Fair.
drinks, I'd say it costs about 2 copper for everybody. I'd say it costs about 6 copper if Merritt wants to get really drunk.
That one.
You should
Alright.
charge him more than that to dissuade him from doing it.
Well, I mean, Richard Bramble used to be a tavern owner, so he knows his way around a bartender.
Well, I mean, do you want to get like tipsy drunk, or do you want to get like smash drunk?
As drunk as a former barman used to, so yes,
All right,
incredibly sloshed.
So that'll be a silver and 2 copper then, or 12 copper.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the money to get extremely
All right, so
down.
Merritt intoxicates himself,
He must be in pain today.
and then everybody else it costs about 2 copper for a couple rounds.
Fair enough.
I guess we just have to carry
Durnan-
him upstairs.
Durnan, the bartender, sort of goes to a big barrel and with a spigot, throws a bunch of tankards, slides them all down towards you. He's like, "Yeah, you guys are here early. Don't you just see you here until the night?"
After today, it's just been a tough day. We need a
Yeah,
drink.
it's also like maybe 2 p.m.
Yeah, that tracks for me. That tracks for me.
It's brunch.
It's brunch.
Yeah,
It's brunch.
We're brunching.
It's post-zombie brunch.
We're just a couple of boys,
There's your episode
and
title.
these are a couple of mimosas.
All right, let me try to get
Whatever
get my
medieval
drunk
mimosas
voice
are.
off.
Whatever you want them to be.
All right, so you have some drinks. What's going on?
Well,
I think this is where we make Merritt tell us his true backstory. Because
You know it.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean
Right.
everybody. I know it, but the viewers don't even know it. So I'm going to get Merritt to talk about it. If I have to roll for it, I will. But you're
Really?
drunk. You're drunk.
oh yeah, he would roll at disadvantage, wouldn't he?
Basically.
Basically.
Only if you tell me your whole deal with the whole.
Nah, I'm gonna
with the
run
horns.
perception.
Why you have?
I'm
Why
gonna-
you have the horns?
Oh, because I was born that way. Your turn.
Or
Imagining the
the
tiefling face on the Lady Gaga album.
I was just gonna say.
and then he says, or what about
Can-
you, the wizard? And he points
Can I-
into a direction where there's
Can I
nobody
just
there.
run a? can I
Well,
just run
as
a
you say, as you,
persuasion
the
check?
wizard, you're actually pointing to a half-orc who wears a pointy wizard hat, and he's like,
Oh, dang it. Let me try to get as much of this as I can remember before.
Okay, can I run my persuasion roll now?
Yes.
I'm willingly giving it to you. You don't have to roll anything. I'm just stalling for time so I can get it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's this whole Rychard deal?
I says to Mabel, Let me get it up. I'm stalling. Come on.
Yeah, you like pinged me like a whole like 2-paragraph thing.
That I wrote on the spot, by the way.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Alright. CLM manager.
So while he's drunkenly stammering, does Ori tell anybody else about anything that Zytalia said? The specifics? If you don't remember the exact, you can just say that she told you tell what she told you.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I could talk about it, but I really want to hear Merrick's backstory again.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you want the whole deal? All right. So you know how Ziggy has one of my songs? Well, that's not the first time I've written anything. All right. So I come from a place from the other side of the thing, the thing that revolves around the thing.
The ocean.
And yeah, that one thing. And I own a tavern, had a family. This was like 30 years ago before most of you, were born. Anyway, so, one day these guys came into my tavern, my lovely tavern, and they murdered everybody. They murdered the people who were there, they murdered my family, they murdered, stuff that I didn't know could be murdered. Like, did you know that you could murder tables? Because they did. And anyway, they
murder what? Sorry?
Murder what?
They murdered. Did you know that you could murder a table? Well, they did. The people who killed everybody and burned down my tavern, and I ran like a coward away from it. They looked a lot like your pack, and that's why I don't like the pack, because I think they have something to do with the people who ruined my life 3 decades ago. So I wandered around for the next couple decades, did some crap, as you do when you're drunk, and then I stumbled on this place with
Oh, we're getting to my favorite part.
Yeah, so I guess I became a merchant marine or something like that for a while, and one day we landed in this place with this wizard, this island that was run by this wizard. I'm not a bad wizard, he was just a wizard, and something snapped at me and I decided, hey, I want to steal all of his things. So I stumbled into his thing. There were some jewel things. I wanted the jewel things, and then while I was looking and stuffing all the jewel things in my pocket, he came home. Now, I'm just a lowly guy. I don't know crap at this point. And we got into a fight, as you do, and well, let's just say, as we were struggling, he slipped and fell down a flight of stairs. Nothing to do with me.
Down a flight of stairs.
And he wasn't moving at the end of that. I do not know. This guy seemed like he was a very powerful wizard. He shot some stuff, did all that cool mirror image crap, like summoned a spider, and then it all went away when he stumbled on a nail down a flight of stairs. So people probably heard that, because, he's, pretty big. He's a wizard. And, I just ran. I, got on the first boat, out of the island, forgot my old crew, and that's where you guys met me.
And that reveals.
So you notice,
No
Merrick,
wonder you drink so much, though.
that Durnan, the bartender, has actually been paying attention to your whole story, and he's like, what was that wizard's name? You don't mind me asking, or eavesdropping?
I forgot it at this point. Something to do with like a foot or something like that.
I don't know many foot wizards, so I guess you're in the clear. He goes back to cleaning the bar.
That's how you kill a wizard, though, folks.
So wait, were you?
Yeah.
Did you? When you said you were a maritime wizard? Did you sell? Merchant? Did you sell boats or did you sell stuff?
Do you know what
On
a merchant? A merchant marine was what Llewyn Davis was, and inside Llewyn Davis, like a freelance like ship guy who just moved crap around a boat.
Okay.
That's what a merchant marine does. Yeah. So that's the whole story I came up with in 15 minutes on the fly. For my backstory, my tragic character.
The Ballad of Rychard.
So
Feet.
that will probably
Defeat
give
wizards with
an
stickers.
idea of why I drink so much, and why I don't like wizards, and why I hate the pack. Why I don't like the pack.
You know, I think all that's just an excuse. I think you just do
Why
the
would I-
drinking because you wanted to be sad. Maybe
Well,
you
that-
don't have to be sad.
I'm not sad. I love doing this.
Exactly
I mean,
my
if
point.
he
You're
wants-
just feeding your ego.
Wait, what?
I'm all ego at this point, buddy. I don't need any feeding.
Does nobody see my point here?
No, you went like one direction and then went right in the other direction.
Futile.
The point is
I don't-
that
I
he's
don't know.
giving us all this sappy backstory because he wants us to stroke his little ego. I don't feel
Dude,
bad for
No.
you at all.
No,
You're
the
not
point of the
stroking
backstory.
anything.
I was gonna say,
point
I'm
of the
glad that
ego.
sentence ended with ego.
We are
You don't have to feel sorry for me, but I don't care how you feel.
We don't
That's not me.
have to stroke his little Richard. Okay. We can
That was
instead
worth it.
make fun of the fact that you killed a wizard with a set of stairs.
Well, hey, it's really cool how
How
he
does a wizard just fall downstairs?
See,
Yeah.
that's what I focused on.
Tumbles down the stairs.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Just falls down.
shitty floorboard. Hey, do I look like somebody who would push a wizard down the flight of stairs? Well,
Yes!
yes, I would, but
Yes.
Yeah.
do I look like somebody
Yeah.
who's powerful enough to push
I
a
think-
wizard down the flight of stairs?
I think-
That's the better phrased question.
I think you
Yes.
advocated for it at least once the whole time we've done this.
Because I wanted to do it. That time it was just an accident. I want to do it for real, not have him just screw up because of the crappy floorboard.
So you hate wizards because they are bad at stairs?
I hate wizards because they're facetious.
Maybe you should hate
I mean,
stairs
you
because
were
they're
robbing
bad
him.
at wizards.
Ooh, plot twist. This is appropriate
Well, maybe-
smashed
well, maybe the
conversation for us.
Well, maybe the fact that I don't like wizards was just a thing I was putting on, and I have really no care either or about them. I just left because I didn't want people to think I actually did kill a wizard.
Yeah.
The guy was some sort of big fighter guy
You
who
needed a
slayed the
shtick.
evil, I guess.
Mm.
Look, I didn't want people to think that I was some wizard killer who's strong and kills apparently evil. I don't really know what his deal was. Wizards. So I just left. I booked it. I didn't even know what it was called. Wizard Island, maybe?
Is there a wizard island? We should go.
It was some wizard on the coast. I don't know.
We
Writes
should
down in
go.
Dungeon Master notes, Wizard Island.
Thank you.
He was one of the wizards of the coast. Just write that down too.
Okay, look, I don't know how you knew I had like magic cards nearby, but get out of my house.
Well, D&D is also owned by Wizards of the Coast now. TSR is
I
owned
know.
by the Coast.
I know.
That was the joke.
that was untimely.
That's
Wizards
the
of the Coast.
joke.
I forgot the name of the wizard. The wizard's name is the bad guy in McCabe and Mrs. Miller. I'm just telling the rest of them.
I remember the wizard's name. Don't worry. Yeah, Alright.
So do we actually make a plan, or do we just do smash? It's always sunny discussion, because that's basically where we're at now.
I mean, that's kind of what you guys do, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I have
You
this
kill things
idea.
and argue.
I have an idea for kobold mittens. They're
Wait,
mittens
what?
you put on the. They're mittens you put on a kobold, so they're
You need
not
to
like
watch It's Always Sunny, man.
like quiet, like so they don't like, make the noise when you're on the thing. And then I have this other idea for an egg.
Tell me more.
About which one? The
All
mittens or
of
the
it.
egg? Alright, so the egg.
Okay.
The egg.
We need to stop this, Richard. Maybe we need to actually focus on a plan at this.
You don't want to hear about my genius idea for kobold mittens?
I think he may be the kind to ask us. He might just start asking the bartender what the spaghetti policy is.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Do you want any of my riot juice?
No, thank you.
No, we
It's
should
just
actually.
straight up-
He's,
It's just grain
he's
alcohol.
right. He's right.
It's grain alcohol, baby.
We should make a plan.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
heist.
Well,
Not
What are you all doing?
Not in front of the bar, buddy. Let's go
No.
upstairs.
Yeah, we need to stop this tangent before we start going off on the fact that Flint ate a fish person. Let's just go.
We'll get back to that later.
Oh yes,
Don't you
Captain
worry.
Fishboy.
it was one time.
It's the only thing anybody will ever remember you for. Unless you
Calm down, calm down,
That's a-
Richard.
Would but
That's
it
a little-
were. Would but it were so simple.
So all of you jibber jabber on your way back up the stairs, and then we, as the camera, pan towards the bartender, and he watches as the party leaves, and he just shakes his head, keeps
Yeah,
wiping down,
I would too.
and just like
That poor bartender.
breathes up, which blows up his hair. So
That poor
you all
bartender.
return to your room.
We can't possibly be the most ridiculous guests at this place.
I mean, current.
I mean, but are we?
But we did break the window, you know.
I can't. That's what the person that
Yeah, you
got Windows
did.
had.
Hey,
So
this
far.
is
This
the
is an
cheap-
Avengers end.
This is the cheapest place in the south end of the jungle. I'm sure we're not the only people to be breaking windows.
Yeah. So you guys make your way to your room, and now you're there. This window is unbroken. All your beds are made again, and you're hanging out. It's about 3 or 4 in
All
the
right.
afternoon.
So listen to
What would you
my
guys
plan.
like to do?
Listen to my plan first. So
Uh-huh.
my idea is that Alvin does the thing where we have to like meld with his mind. We murder him.
Hard pass.
I don't think starting off with this idea.
Okay, so what would we gain by actually killing him at any
We
point
get a-
through this?
We get to keep the guns. That's
I
about
thought
it.
I thought we were passing those off.
Yeah, and then we can sell them to somebody else.
So you
We can
want
sell them whoever
you
we
just
want
wanna
to.
copy them.
I don't even want to copy him. I just want him dead. I think he's annoying.
Okay, but
But if we kill Alvin, then will we still have access to the fun guy?
Oh no, I want to kill
Plan.
him too.
we don't want access to the fun guy. There's so many
We
better
want-
ways to communicate via brains.
Our job.
Like, we have the coins, we don't need to go on drugs.
We can also talk with our mouths.
Not in the
Oh.
open where everybody could hear us.
All of these are better.
All of these are better
Ah.
than snorting the hemorrhoid dog and then just having that in your head.
Listen, all I want to do is just point out my finger, cast magic missile, and have it all go into into Alvin's face. This Alvin's chipper-looking
Okay.
face.
Let's talk this through. What would we actually gain from having Alvin dead?
What would we gain from doing the heist? We
Lots of
met the
things.
princess.
Keeping
met the-
keeping the plans out of the hands of keeping the guns and the plans for the guns out of the hands of both the pack and the butchers.
Yeah, but we want him in Alvin's hands. We can just keep him and destroy him.
So that's the
Mind
question.
blown.
Wait, wasn't this for the princess though?
So the princess doesn't. I don't think the princess particularly cares what we do with them, but as long as we don't make a huge scene out of it, and
Yeah, well,
that we don't let them get into people's hands, like wrong people's hands, I think she
Yeah,
doesn't care.
What the princess explicitly said is that she doesn't really mind too much what you guys do, as long as it disrupts the political structure of the city between like these 9 warring factions that control everything. because any kind of political upheaval forces them all to react, and she's hoping that somewhere along their reactions, Nakresh will slip up and reveal himself.
So here's another.
She's saying any kind of power disruption is good. She also said, "Hey, if this messes up the pack, that's good because the pack's really powerful." But like other than that, she's not going to the event, so she doesn't really have any vested interest in it either way.
Change of plans. I say that we still kill Alvin, but we keep the plans for the guns ourselves. Find someone else to make them, and then we kill the pack with them.
That is long-term idea. That's not terrible. Another thing is, Alvin said he was going to give us things, fun tools to use.
Well, we can pick them off his corpse.
But he's not gonna have them there during the heist or any point before. He's not gonna have them already.
He'll have them finished when we pick him off his corpse. By the time we're all done and we see him,
remind the rest of the group. He's still drunk. Why? How can we actually be planning anything with him?
It's true.
That was his choice. Whether we ignore what he wants or not, he suggested these things while drunk, and he could have made them sober.
Yeah, there's no difference between self now sober, whatever I'm calling myself now drunk.
Okay, Richie.
I guess we're going with that one now.
Eat your crust, Richie.
Real plan. What are you guys doing at the heist?
Killing someone?
Not you.
The question is how we want to do it, because the plans will be where?
You weren't told exactly where, only that it'll be somewhere where the rooms move, and that Alvin told you, Flint, to look for
clock tower.
Yeah, the Clockwork Castle, and he said basically to follow Gustav of the Golden Company, a rather rotund human man with
big ugly
gold
dude.
Clothing. Big ugly dude in gaudy gold clothing, flanked by two people in golden armor.
So do we kill the Golden Orb man? What?
I feel like killing should be the last thing that we do.
What you want to do is follow him to find out, figure out which room he's going into, because that's where the exchange is going to be taking place.
Oh yes, this guy. Hello.
So, obviously I will be busy performing. I think at least one of us, another one of us is going to be too busy to sneak away. And Merritt will clearly need to be sober.
I don't think sober.
Anyway.
Okay, so we just gotta follow the big ugly dude. The question is do we want anybody on the outside, or we all just enter the gala and kind of work out from in and go outward? Is there any way that we can check out some kind of escape route, even clear a path? Is anybody good at sneaking, particularly?
Alvin had an idea for escaping.
Alvin is working on schematics and the layout of the castle. He might have ideas.
Okay.
Escape. Because the thing about the Clockwork Castle is that nobody enters it except for this gala. It's the house of Sumi, the leader of the gnomes, basically, and the founder of the Bureau of Transit, and he's a renowned recluse, except for his big birthday gala.
Gotcha. The people eater himself.
We should actually have a game plan. This is a good idea.
Oh.
But what do we do?
Crap.
You can always go visit Alvin and see what he has to say.
And introduce him to my, my magic missile.
Hold off on the magic missile!
Please.
See, this is why we don't do that kind of thing. Except, okay, so all we know for now is that the schematics are in the topsy-turvy clocky place. We're following the fat guy, who seems to have some kind of clear idea on where to go for that. But I don't even know if we need to particularly, like, are we supposed to network with him? Is that a place that we could just kind of get into or sneak into? And I guess we're not going to be able to know that unless we have the schematics. So maybe we should just go visit Alvin.
Yeah, agreed.
All right.
Plus, you're all getting into the gala. That's one thing you guys have locked down.
We're all getting into the gala. The question
Yeah.
is what we should be doing within the gala, like, and what we should be keeping an eye out for.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
I stand by that. That's what we're doing.
All right.
I like the plan.
So we visit Alvin.
Okay.
We visit Alvin.
Do we leave Richard?
Yeah. He's drunk. And
Or
he's
do you
already
take him
into
through
it.
the city uproariously drunk and ready to kill another gnome?
That is the question.
Don't worry, I won't kill Alvin yet.
Okay.
And I smirk.
He's only saying yet because we're not in front of him.
So you guys go?
Yep.
Yes.
You finish up your
With
drinks?
that terrible, terrible music.
Yes, I was just gonna say, you all get back onto the train. You arrive in Tinkertown, probably around like 5 p.m. As you walk out, and even though it's sort of later in the day, you see hear the
Change of plans. I want to kill whatever's making that music.
Nope.
You remember
That's
there's
fine.
all these signposts with like these like gramophone megaphones pumping out, and like these little like music boxes pumping out the same melody, as well as the warm, pleasant scent of cinnamon as you walk through these miniature streets as little gnome people walk to and fro.
I
the
yelled
small
to the
buildings.
nearest gnome. I yelled to the nearest gnome. Hey, any of you like this song?
And they run.
Oh my god.
Composed more. I asked another gnome. Hey, what's the deal with the music?
And he says, sir, what's the deal with you having a Bureau of Transit bag of holding?
That's a good question.
Magic.
I am the Bureau of Transit, and I stumble away.
Those gnomes sort of shrug and walk away. Alright, so you find the powder keg, the aptly bomb-shaped building, a little like round black building with a chimney sticking out of it with a bunch of smoke coming out up on the little hill in the outskirts of Tinkertown. You walk on up, and you enter the door, and you hear bangs and booms, and God damn it!
Sounds about right.
And you ring the bell, and out walks Alvin, Blacklung, your favorite gnome friend. Once again, his face is just entirely black with soot. And he's just like, oh, you brought all the friends. You're here for the spores, huh?
No, we came to see if you got the schematics.
Oh, I mean, most of them.
Okay.
Most of them?
Sure, let's come on in then. He sort of motions to you to follow him once again back into his workshop.
Most of them?
How do you not have 100% of them?
It's only been like 3 days. It's a
Oh.
rather reclusive secret place.
We've had some adventures.
That's true. Oh wow,
That's
we've
true.
done a lot.
You've done a lot in the past. That's D&D adventuring life, man. You look at the time; it's kind of wacky. You've done a lot.
Dang.
Like Flint. Just yesterday, you became champion and then delved into the sewers to fight the monster. Like that all happened in one.
That was a heck of a day.
Yeah. Like I think Turgot's only been with you for like 2 or 3 days, and yeah.
We've traumatized him.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, if he hadn't sworn a life debt, he would be gone.
I feel like at one
probably not gonna disappear for a while.
I feel like at one point we're just gonna do like one of those like, go on, leave, get away from us, don't look.
He made a mistake, but it was his mistake to make.
That's fair.
This is true. This is true. All right, so Alvin says, "So, what's the plan?"
The plan.
Get in, get out.
Get in, follow Fat Man, perhaps kill Fat Man, get documents, and then leave. Is it
Yes.
Is it recommended that we kill him? Is he a person that we don't like?
I mean, I don't really care if you do. There might be consequences. It might be harder to get out.
What
if
would be
people
the
are hunting for
consequences?
bodies?
Killing everybody. Why must people die?
Well, he's kind of a bad. He might be a bad dude.
Of course,
Ori,
he might look like.
I don't think you're aware of this, but we're not necessarily the nicest people.
At the risk of sounding like Richard,
Let me tell you a bit
it
about
would
my
create
religion.
chaos.
I like chaos.
So would it be more difficult to exit a venue like that in the midst of chaos?
Perhaps.
But would it be?
I mean, it depends on the chaos. Are you gonna murder him right when he's like eating cake, or are you gonna like find him when he's in a room by himself? That's up to you.
Well, what would cause a stir? What would ruckus them? What would rustle their jimmies?
I mean, you could like run in screaming naked and then chop Fickle Greenhorn in half, but
That actually sounds like something we would do.
Well, no. Would it be okay? So, like, what's like a quality level of his security?
Of Gustav specifically, or in the place itself?
Both.
So, Sumi has many of his greatest no magicians sort of all around the all around the grounds of the place. They watch some of the rooms, but they kind of blend in. A lot of them double as the train conductors. I don't know if you know this, but you shouldn't actually pick a fight with the train conductors. They know a lot of spells.
Yeah, as it turns out.
Yeah, we wouldn't know anything about that.
Anyway, so there's a couple that sort of border the perimeter. There's a couple that guard the east wing, and of course the north wing, as that's sort of Sumi's personal headquarters. But as far as personal security, as I told you, Flint, everyone can have up to 2 bodyguards, and only those bodyguards are allowed weapons.
Right.
So, did you tell them, Flint? Yeah,
that was
none of
one
you guys can
that
probably
was
bring in
one
the
thing
weapons.
that I wanted that I forgot to mention to them before we came here is that they cannot see any of our weapons.
Yeah.
That's fine by me.
Unless, like I said to Alvin, I decorated my axe as though it was some kind of ceremonial thing, but I don't know if anybody would fall for it. But
Well, like I said,
would
I
feel
think-
really good about myself if they did.
I'm pretty sure, as the Fight Club champion, you'd be considered the honorary bodyguard of Gorak when he arrives.
That's
so
true.
you're fine.
Gorak may have a weapon that I might be able to nab.
Perhaps. I don't really know that
Depends
guy.
on how much chaos we make.
This is also true.
So that's the
Well, it's a
question.
good thing I don't have weapons.
That's the
Oh,
question.
you have your
friends.
spear.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
true. No, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us could do pretty well with spells and fisticuffs.
Yeah, I mean, as a monk, you're quite strong. You're literally the best with your fist.
And I've got that elemental thing going on.
Yep. Yeah, you got stuff. And then Alexandros won't be able to bring in his axe or his crossbow, but you got spells. I mean, Karnov, you're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Merritt, it's up to you if you want to sneak stuff in or not.
And so the question is do we want to... Oh yeah, where's those schematics that you have at the very least now?
Okay, and so he sort of pulls out a bunch of papers and sort of lays them out, and they look. You can't quite tell if they're like really well drawn, like stuff by him, or if they're really crappy official blueprints, because it's somewhere like in between. Like it clearly has a lot of detail, but it doesn't look like like it has
like a 5th grader did it.
No, like better, more like a really talented like high schooler made it, as opposed to like an official reproduction.
Like,
but
that's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you said, you can't quite tell, but you're leaning towards he probably made this himself.
Got it.
And so it's sort of missing the details an official blueprint would, but it looks, for what it is, it's pretty good. And so you see there's sort of like an entry, there's sort of like this like long garden area at the front of the castle. There is this longer entryway that goes off, that has like a foyer and it's a hallway. There's a bunch of little offshoot rooms that are sort of marked as like chamber pot rooms. And then there is a like a little like a stand, and there, right there, he wrote the name Figgle. And
What's
then there's sort of, and he says, Figgle is a person. Figgle is Sumi's personal assistant. She will be making the announcements as soon as everyone arrives. She will be announcing their names. You know, it's a gala thing. Everyone's got to know when people show up and who they are.
Sure.
So she'll be there. She'll be there, checking the guest list also. And then around her, there's going to be 1 or 2 gnomes checking for the weapon. At this point, and he points to like at the end of the hallway where it leads into like a bigger room. And so right where that hallway leads, there's sort of this huge ballroom, like sort of like this big box of like 200 by 200 feet. Like it's this huge room. There's a couple of pillars on like the left and right hand side that sort of divide it, where there's a bunch of tables behind that. And then there's sort of at the very end of the hall, there's like this big like iron shaft. And then that in there, Alvin has written north, the north wing, unavailable, Sumi's. And then there are 2 on the sides. There are these 2 stairways. One, and both of them go up. And then he sort of takes another piece of paper, and they're sort of like translucent, so they can layer over one another. It's like sort of like baking parchment, you know. And so he layers another drawing on top of it, and you see that there's sort of like this upper 2nd floor balcony that overlooks the ballroom. And then up there in the balcony, there are 2 doors. One that goes off to the east wing, and there Alvin has scrawled kitchens, guest rooms, bathrooms, nothing important. And then over where it's
important.
And then where it says it's a little. And then where it says West Wing, however, he's written most of the clockwork probably here, ? And so he pulls out more papers and he says, so as you can see here, I've deduced that it's most likely going to be this, the trade-off is most likely going to happen in the West Wing somewhere.
Makes sense.
And he's like, however, and he sort of like, he puts more like layers of the schematic over that side of on like the left-hand side of it. He's like, however, what I have is pretty vague. These are the things that keep moving. I know that there are about 6 stories worth of rooms on the West Wing, but
6 stories?
And here's the thing: the stairways move. And so,
oh no, this is some
which area
shit.
Which area connects to which is sort of the difficulty, and which room of all these rooms he's going to hide up in, you'll have to deduce.
This would have been good to know.
Well, now you know now.
This is why I said we should do this now. So that's why when I asked if it was just that they spun, you didn't say yes.
Well, I mean, the gears spin, but the spinning gears makes the stairway
right,
sort of raise and
not
lower.
Just clock stuff.
Nah, that's not.
Yikes.
Line up,
Clockwork is kind of
everybody.
just a fun name.
Team meeting. I like to gather everybody in. I want to gather everybody in a circle.
Away. Alvin sort of pokes his head into.
Yeah, all together. I like look at him. Do you mind?
Oh, am I not part of the... You're in my house. Oh, fine.
Okay.
He steps away.
because I know Merritt's going to say it. I don't want him in the circle. But that really made me want to kill him a second ago. Anyway.
Merritt has said nothing the entire time we've been in the house.
Yep.
I know.
His smile goes up, and that's all that he says.
Now, listen to me. We might be able to get a rehearsal in there.
A rehearsal?
Yes, for our performance.
Merritt quietly nods.
The performance?
Oh, yeah, about that. Yeah, I'll tell you later. Point is, we might be able to get in early and figure out how the stairs rotate.
Ah.
Early?
That is the first sound that Merritt has made the entire time he's...
But, since Alvin is withholding information, I think we should do the same.
Withholding information? What are you talking about?
Why are we just finding out about moving staircases right now?
Yeah, that's kind of sketchy, isn't it?
Like, this is starting to sound like a trap.
Why would he want to trap us? What do you mean?
And then my laughter gets louder and louder.
It's kind of stinky.
What? Stop. Did you shoot yourself with your wand?
Yes.
Yeah. Karnov, I'd just like you to roll a stealth roll. See how quietly you're whispering.
Oh, good idea. Oh, that's not good.
What is that?
5.
What if
Alright, cool.
what if I just started yelling instead?
If you have inspiration, that would be great.
Proceed.
Just saying, we might be able to get in. We can figure this out.
Okay, when do we do it?
I'll have to go talk to Ziggy.
Smart lad.
Because we were going to rehearse there, but maybe I can convince him to demand a rehearsal at the venue.
We've already pretended to be his roadies before, so...
Exactly. And all we really need is Merritt to get away and watch some stairs. He is an authority on them.
Again,
Wow.
again, just a smirk and a laugh.
That's pretty good. Deep cuts. Deep cuts.
There was a strategic burn, and I'm proud of it.
Damn.
That was really good. That was really good.
At least I didn't call him the master of unlocking. Okay.
Damn.
Okay,
Damn,
we can break the
Daniel.
circle.
Damn, Daniel.
Oh, jeez. Welcome to the outdated meme hour.
What are those?
No.
Boo.
Alright. And we just nonchalantly turn back to the schematics, and I've actually been scribbling notes, so we'll just say that Flint has been scribbling notes.
Alright.
With like little gnomes.
Aside from saying nothing, apart from the huddle just then, Merritt has been completely silent and has just been staring directly into Alvin's eyes.
Yeah, we're broken up and looking back.
Unmoving.
Well, Alvin hasn't been looking at you guys. He hasn't been like waiting. He like got back to working on stuff.
Oh, good. He wasn't paying attention.
The entire time he's looking straight.
All right, so you're just creepily staring at Alvin this
whole time, saying nothing.
Good to know. All right. So, what else would you guys like to do then?
Is there anything else we need to know, Alvin? Anything that might be helpful before we go?
You ask him that?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, well, okay. So, I've gotten a little more of the guest list.
That is helpful.
So these are some people you can either cozy up to, talk to, or just steer clear of. I don't know. It depends on what you guys need to do. But let me just tell you. Okay, so, and he sort of looks at a list. He's like, obviously, there's you guys. Sumi himself is going to be there. Gustav, and he has with him his 2 gold knights. Madame Kadi is going to be there, otherwise known as the Mistress of the Red Light District. And curiously enough, she only has one of her own bodyguards, and her other bodyguard is going to be a guy from the pack.
What? Keep it together, man.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of this guy named Axel Thorne. He's going to be with there. Here's the kicker. If he's registered as her bodyguard, he's going to have his weapon.
Son of a bitch.
He's got one of those things.
Yeah, that's kind of a complication, isn't it?
Oh, that's a way of putting it.
So,
so we gotta be extra.
Okay, prepared. So I also got Gorak and you as a result. Charkath as well as you, Mr. Dragonborn, are going to be with him. I have the royal envoy of Herib in her absence. I assume that's you, Godman. And then, let's see here. It just says Ziggy and company. I assume that meant you guys.
Yeah, that would be fair.
Let's see here. Figgle Greenhorn's gonna be there. Obviously, I mentioned her. A Lieutenant Kosef of the Royal Guard is going to be there. Alexandros, that name rings a bell. And then they're going. Oh, this is interesting. An elf from the commune is actually going to show up. They never do. That's weird. That's pretty interesting.
That sounds like an omen.
And then Balo of the dwarves, the leader of the dwarven jewel miners, he will be there in tow, probably wearing his big fancy helmet. And then let's see, Monica Whitebow of the Pleasant Hills real estate. Let's see here. Oh, he's like sort of flipping through. It's like there's a couple of wizards and flipping through. Yeah, a couple of other bank people.
Gotcha. We don't have anybody from any kind of
Yeah. Oh, what? One last thing. I forgot this part. So, and he sort of pulls over back to the schematics. He puts another layer over the ballroom, and then there's doors that lead behind, the sort of between the stairs and the iron shaft. He puts out a layout, and you see there's sort of like fountains and hedges, and he's like, there's a great garden behind the ballroom. Some people are gonna walk out there to lounge, whatever. It looks great. I don't care. The point is, I'm gonna be held up in one of these bushes, so I can still. I'll have the fun guy with me, so we'll still be in range, no matter where you are in the castle.
That's good.
If you're looking for possible ways out, obviously, depending on how hot or cold the situation is, you could just walk out the front door. If no one suspects you, you can make a break for it through the bushes of the garden. Or you could get to a high window in one of the wings and jump over the gate. I don't recommend it. I don't know how strong your bones are, but it is an option. Anything else you need from me?
Nah, I think that's better than how we were when we got here.
We do have more information, yes.
All right, then. So,
and then I guess
today, and you got tomorrow, and then it's showtime.
I guess we go talk to Ziggy.
Yeah.
Merritt nods.
And so, we will go talk to Ziggy and find out how this heist will transpire.
Before we leave the house, Merritt says just one word as he walks out the door to Alvin. Mm-hmm. Soon. And leaves.
You just hear.
I have a feeling I'm gonna have to light him on.
And as you walk out, you hear, "Yeah, the ice is in 2 days. You're right."
Merritt just chuckles.
All right, and we'll pick up where that will go on the next episode of The Dungeon Folk. So thanks everybody for tuning in again. There's a lot of talky episodes, but that's the political intrigue of our campaign.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And we got drunk, so I feel like it works out.
So that's D&D in a nutshell.
This character hurts my jaw to do. God.
Oh, dude, my voice feels so wrecked. Like, please kill Alvin. I regret it now.
That's part of the reason why I'm working this up is you don't have to do that voice anymore.
I love the voice. I underestimated how much of a toll it would take for, like, that sustained. I used to only say this voice for, like, one-liners, like, yeah! And then, like, that was it. Having full-length conversations as this guy is killing me.
But when Merritt finally makes his move, he stabs him in the throat while hidden in shadows. So, hey.
Alright, maybe if you don't kill him, at least just, like, disable his voice box. Just like this.
It'll just be like a twist where he just like, we all do great, and then all of a sudden it's just like, and a mysterious shadow falls upon him, or like a train hits him.
It wouldn't be the first time a train hit a gnome in this campaign.
No, it wouldn't.
Right.
That's that hurt.
That's a weird sentence to say. Alright, well, thanks everybody.
Places.
We will catch you next time. The heist is finally going to happen.
Woot.
For like 3 months build-up. I hope it's good.
Are we doing it next episode?
Well, next episode...
Probably.
Next episode, like, you'll do some reconnaissance, but it'll probably, like, lead right into it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that'll take, like, the whole thing, though, so...
Has it really been
Probably
3 months?
It's been a while.
Yeah, we're bad.
It's been a... Because you guys decided to take up the heist mission pretty much right after you guys killed the street shark. I feel like that was January.
February.
Street Shark was in January?
February, maybe? I don't know.
We'll have to back
Dang.
Yeah.
Find it, viewers, and let us know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Do you
All
do that?
6 of you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So-
and don't
6 is good.
and don't forget to follow all of our social channels at TYF Official.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Of
them.
course. Check out all of our great stuff.
And I will be updating our podcast episodes as soon as I can because we're a couple behind, but they're going to be on the Android Android store and also on Apple Podcasts.
And I will update the landing page
Yeah.
and the articles when I get the chance, because
Yeah.
real life has been hectic, but we'll do that.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.